I will 2 minutes more, then I will start the session. Okay, I will starting the session of the interactive session of the course, that is the principles of landscaping and gardening. So I'm going to first of all answer those questions which you have asked through the Google response sheet. When anyone join and ask question, then I will reply to them. And so first of all, I will going to take those questions which have been asked by the students on the Google response sheet. So the first question which is asked by the Asif, he has asked what are the most common mistakes people make when starting a new garden. So the most common mistake is made by any new gardener is starting from a very large garden size. So when you are starting you are a new gardener or starting newly gardening techniques, so you have to start from a very small size. When you're able to manage these particular gardens, then you have to expand it. Like first of all, if you are a home gardener, you have to start with terrace garden, or you have to choose a particular specific area for the gardening. Then the next most common mistake done by the new gardener is the overwatering or underwatering. So overwatering is also dangerous, not good for the plant because it causes the root rot. And underwatering, plant may fail, wilting, and they may die. And the next thing that common mistake is done by the gardener is they don't know the plants very well, so they place plant in a wrong place. Like if you're growing a rose plant and you place in a shady area, so rose require a full sunlight to bloom, and we have you have planted the rose plant for the blooming of the flowers, but if you place in a shady area, that it will not give you the flower. So you have to place in a particular sunny areas, sunlight areas, where proper sunlight is coming, because it requires 6 to 8 hours of a proper sunlight for the proper blooming. Then the next thing is the considering the fertilizing of the soil. You have to provide a appropriate amount of the fertilizer. Limited amount is also uh, limit the growth of the plant, and excess amount cause toxicity to the plants also. Then the next question is also asked by the Asif. He has asked how we can improve the soil quality. The soil is very important for the gardening because plant absorb its nutrient and water from the soil. And for the soil quality improvement, we have to improve its nutrient availability and also water. So for the nutrient availability, we have to provide the best. There is the organic fertilizer like farm manure and green manures. They provide the nutrients which is absorbed by the roots, and the plant then photosynthesize. And the next important thing for the soil is the moisture content. And to retain the moisture, you have to mulch the top layer of the soil. Mulch, you can use the dead leaves or chips or any straws that create a layer. This mulch provide moisture to the soil content and uh, control the weed growth. So mulch is very important in improving the soil quality. And after, because mulch are the organic compounds, when they decompose, they will provide nutrient to the soil. And the third most important component for the soil is the soil drainage. Because if the soil is not proper drained, the root growth will be restricted. So for the proper root growth, you have to provide the proper drainage of the soil. For that, you have to plow the soil in the regular basis, as well as suppose in the your particular area, the soil, if the soil is has a very fine particle size, then you have to sand or perlite that will increase the drainage of the soil. So these are the some three main points for improving the soil quality. Beside this, you can add the vermicompost or that increase the soil fertility. These are the some other things. Then the next question is also asked by the Asif. He has asked, kindly recommend a book which provide a strong foundation for understanding core principles of landscape and gardening. So we have already provided a list of books on our web page where the landscaping and gardening is present. And first here I am also tell you the name of the main book, that is the Handbook of Landscape. That book is released by the Central Public Works Department, and this book is deals with very simple language, and has discussed every component of landscaping and gardening in a very simple way. So it will provide you a very good foundation for this particular course and for your future also. Then the next question is asked by the Mohammed Soban. He has asked, do botanists need a license to open their own plant nursery? So for this question, the simple answer is no, because anyone in India can open a nursery. Just he has to, if he would like to sell seeds, then he has to take the license from the Indian Agriculture Department. Or if he would like to sell the pesticides, then he will take the license from the pesticide board, insecticide board of India. Otherwise, anyone in India can open the nursery. Then moving to the next question, that is asked by the Ali. He has asked how to design a low maintenance garden in a tropical climate. So in for any garden, if you are a beginner or you want a low maintenance garden, so the main principle that you have to consider is the selection of a native plant, because this is the most important, because native plants have adaptability and that particular climatic condition. So this selection of a native plants provide provide you to the very low maintenance types. And then you have to second the selection of a native plant, then you have to select drought resistant plants, because the most next important thing you have to do in the garden is the regular watering. So if you have taken the low drought resistant plants like bougainvillea, rose, so you have to provide less maintenance to these particular plants. Then the next thing that you have to done for the low maintenance garden is you have to properly mulch the soil, because as I have told you already, that mulch reduces the weed and it also provides the moisture content. So mulching of the upper layer of the soil is also providing you the moisture content to the soil, and it also, by decaying of the leaf, you will, the soil is also getting the nutrient from it. So mulching is the best option for the low maintenance garden. And the next important thing, you have to is in the particular garden you have to have a size, lawn size very small, because lawn area requires maximum amount of maintenance. If you have a lawn, you have to regularly move it, turf it. That has a maximum amount of maintenance required by the lawn. So the next is that you have to select the very small size. And the next thing for the low maintenance garden, you can opt for the hard escaping element with the soft escaping like stones. You can incorporate your gardens with the hard escaping elements that you have to did not to maintain that particular, because hard escaping that did not require any maintenance, just you have to clean time to time. So these elements require very low maintenance. For the tropical as well as any climatic condition, you have to choose the native plant. That is the most important thing for the low maintenance garden. Then the next question is asked by the Sumit. What is the aim of principles of landscaping and gardening? So in the first class, I have discussed already that the landscaping is increasing the beauty of our surroundings. So it increasing the aesthetic appeal as well as it also increasing the functionality of that particular area. Because if you have a beautiful outdoor, then you will walk in that particular area, you feel relaxed, you feel connected to the nature, that increase your sensory experience, that can also useful for and you can use that particular area for the physical exercises as well as besides functionality you can use that particular area for the like kitchen gardening. And the next important thing is also improve the balance of the climatic condition, that also improve the microclimate of that particular area, because planting improve the oxygen content and that improves the microclimate of that particular area. So gardening improves the overall environment of that particular area. Then next question is asked by the Ali. How can I attract local wildlife like birds and butterflies to my tropical garden? So in tropical garden or any garden, as I have told you that the garden, the basic need of any particular garden, you have to attract a wildlife. First, you have to select the native plants, because wildlife, those wildlife which attract, that if you plant a native plant, wildlife is automatically attract to that particular area. So you have to select the native plants. Then if you attract the birds, you have to place the some water bath. These provide the watering needs of that particular birds. And you have to plant the some plants like beautiful flower plants that blossom and give the colorful, that attracts the butterflies. So wildlife, for the attraction of the wildlife, the main criteria is the selection of the native plants. These are the questions which has been asked by the students by the Google response sheet. Now this course is already 6 weeks are completed by this particular course. Now you will get the access of the 7th week in the coming week. So far you have given 6 assignments already. Similarly, on 25th October, your main examination will be going on. That is the that will based on the computer based examination that has a MCQ types of question. So far I think you have and learned so many things from that particular course of principles of landscaping and gardening. Besides this course will provide you the basics principles of gardening. Here you have learned how gardening you can incorporate in the garden, as well as you have in the upcoming weeks you will learn about the selection. Basically you will selection of the plants, like I have told you, the selection of a native plant is very important. The next 2 upcoming weeks will provide you the which plant you have to select for that particular garden and how to maintain it or grow it. So the next 2 upcoming weeks are dealing on the selection of ornamental plants and how to grow in that particular areas. And so far you have learned about the principles and there and different types of garden elements and their design principles. So your end examination that will be based on the MCQ which you have learned so far, as well as it also has some questions which can be asked beside these particular topics. These are the general questions which can be asked in the form of a MCQ that has general awareness on that particular topic. So I think that will be okay for this particular session, because I think no one is joined this particular session. Sir?
Okay, Dr. Kausya Basri, you have mentioned each and everything for the students.
If everything covered in the session, we can close the call. Or if not, we can continue.
Yeah, I think that everything is completed, because what we have to say, already Dr. Kausya Basri has told you. So, but no further questions is there. So, I think we can close now.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, sir.